Say a pleasant good evening to Member of Parliament for St. Augustine, Ms. Khadija Ameen. Pleasant. Good evening. Welcome. It's always a pleasure to have you on.
Good evening and thank you for having me.
Yeah, I had quite, before I get into the outreach program, I had quite an experience. And I think the average citizen simply wants things to happen. They want things done. I had well, I should say, started off, unfortunately, to make a call to the Minister of Public Utilities because a street light was out. And I said, listen, women come out early in the morning, they walk. I would hate to, to think that I would hate to see anything happen to any of the constituents who are living here and so forth. Like that was like about an entire week, no reply. Finally, I had to say, listen, it's Mother's Day, man. Have a heart. And all of a sudden, on Mother's Day, here comes the van, less than 20 minutes, just to change the bulb, street light back up and running. Why? Why does it have to entail all of this just to get the job done?
You see, Mikee K, this is a concern, a real concern of everyday women, where you have an increase in crime. You have so many women being raped and robbed and harassed and murdered. And then you have these street lights that are not working. You have these empty vacant lots that, make it easy for these fellas to hide and target women. You have a lot of times you don't have PTSC buses going into some areas, so you rely on public transport, whatever, PH cars and so on that you can rely on. And that in itself is a danger. So there are so many areas without street lights or where the street lights are not working. And even if the cameras that are there are working, you will not be able to pick up as much because of the poor lighting. So this is a real genuine concern of a lot of women.
Yeah. And I think it's a basic concern too for the average citizen who just simply may not have a voice or have access to certain people, and they simply want to get things done. They say, listen, I may not have all the money in the world, but where I live, I want it to be kept nice. I want it to be maintained. If you're going to tax me, as we know, property tax is still on the agenda, at least I want to know that the dog that the neighbors have next door and they don't have a wall or anything fenced wouldn't be able to come across and harass me because there'll be some kind of laws put in place. I will know that the schedule for garbage collection is happening. I would know that if a light goes out, there's going to be someone there to understand and fix it immediately, because it's going to be an inconvenience, and as well, it could be a danger to the. I mean, it's basic, but why is it so complex for people to understand that service? Bottom line, service.
I think what has happened over the last couple of years, from my observation, a lot of these organizations, their allocation, the amount of money they are being given in the budget has been cut significantly every year. Now, the government would do that to reduce the deficit that they have so that they wouldn't look too bad, right?
Right.
But what happens is that apart from, let's say, regional corporations or the state agencies, apart from taking initiative, apart from new initiatives, just their basic functions, just their basic administrative functions, they do not get enough money for. There have been instances where regional corporation workers had to work with their own toilet paper. So we are talking very, very basic needs to run the organization, much less for material and supplies to do regular maintenance. So they don't even get the material that is required to pave the potholes or to fill and roll the recreation grounds, to do basic maintenance work on their own compound. And they run into issues. So you have to pay the workers have to be paid, but you have no material for them to do work. And so in the long run, you have more wastage because you are getting zero productivity, even though you have to pay the workers, and you must ensure that the workers' jobs are secure. So over the time, I think the PNM has contributed to the breakdown of a lot of our public and state agencies because of lack of knowledge, lack of willpower. There are ways to go in and reduce spending and increase efficiency without it there being such a breakdown. And that breakdown is what we are facing the result of. That is why when the Wassa pothole is left unattended for weeks and months, residents go and mix a little cement and put in the hole because they're so fed up of their vehicles being damaged. That is why you have so many instances of that type of breakdown now. With state agencies, where street lights are taking long to be repaired, even regional corporations cannot even fix and maintain the recreation grounds that fall under their purview. You know, sporting organizations now have to go and beg, borrow, and so on to get to fill the place. And so that is what is happening, a systemic breakdown.
Tell us, outreach program tomorrow, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., St. Augustine South Community Center. Go right ahead. Tell us.
So what I have recognized is that many of the state agencies who have grants within their organization, they have not been a facility, a way to facilitate them coming into the community. As you know, in December, the people of St. Augustine South and Bamboo experienced tremendous flooding. The majority of people are still waiting to receive their flood compensation check. In the meanwhile, we have to help people rebuild their lives. I have engaged Habitat for Humanity. We have been doing a number of training and programs and getting the residents themselves involved. But there are some people who made applications for self-help grants and other grants. So tomorrow, what we will have is that all the agencies, such as the LSA, the National Self-Help Commission, the Ministry of Public Utilities, and Ministry of Social Welfare, I have invited their representatives to come to the community center so that residents can come and find out what grants are available, what they qualify for, and make their applications there and then, or at least take the form and we can facilitate their applications later. On Thursday, we will have a similar outreach in Bamboo Settlement Number 3 Community Center, and that is specifically targeting the people of Bamboo 2 and 3, but it is not limited, of course. Anyone from any part of the constituency can attend, but you will have there all the agencies with their representatives concerning the grants that are available. Grants to repair your home, grants to fix electrical and plumbing, grants to replace school items and school uniforms and so on for those who suffered that in the flooding. And that type of thing, LSA has a grant to rebuild your home once you are recognized by LSA. So all of these agencies I have invited, and it will be informative, but it will also allow the constituents to make their applications. And one of the things that I have been saying is that this government has to stop giving grants according to which constituency you live in. These are people who are in need, and whether their MP is a UNC MP or a PNM MP, they are citizens of this country, and if they qualify, please allow them to have their grant. The fact that people have been waiting for months for their flood relief grant is very disturbing. We have had no agencies really reaching out and doing what should be done for these flood victims, and so myself and the councillors for the area, we have taken this initiative, and we will continue to work with our flood victims to help them recover their lives.
Right, so you're going to have from the Ministry of Public Utilities, Social Development and Self-Help and what have you, because you're quite correct. Many people simply do not know what's available to them, and giving them that assistance would really get them to get back on track and online. And, you know, Khadija Ameen, as a Minister of Local Government, what are some of the changes that you believe could take place that we don't have to be having these things as the best kept secret?
Let me tell you, people talk of, the government has been talking so much about local government reform and reform and reform. I have been hearing about reform since I became a councillor way back in 2003 when Hazel Manning was the minister, and it has been discussed even before that. What is needed in local government is political will. When the UNC was in government, not only did the regional corporations get more money allocated to them, but you also had every ministry delivering through local government. So the Ministry of Sports is going to develop a recreation ground, a sporting facility. They liaise with the regional corporation and do the work that is required there, and then the regional corporation will do the maintenance work. Every agency, every government ministry that is has some sort of execution to do, it is done in collaboration with local government. So light a recreation ground, it is Ministry of Public Utilities. So what is required is the government likes to use the term whole of government approach. Where's your whole of government approach? Just saying that using all these buzzwords and hashtags and so on, I always say pocket squares don't fix potholes. And what is required and what the UNC did when we were in government is really deliver based on political will. I remember us being encouraged and trained to be more efficient by spending the money in an efficient manner. From the dry season, you award your contract so that projects will not stop in the rainy season. By having the water courses cleared, you reduce flooding and you actually reduce the cost in the long run to citizens and so on. So what I am seeing is really a lack of willpower from this government where local government is concerned. They do not have a full appreciation of what the corporations realistically face on the ground, so they are constantly underfunded, and the government will continue to fail, and all they are going to do is give us these buzzwords and all these things. Listen, people want to hear that, When you continue to fail them, when you as you step out your house, garbage not collected, drains not clean.
That's right.
Who is responsible? Local government.
Okay.
So buzzwords does not fix that. Telling me that you have an app, that you're developing an app. In the meanwhile, what is actually happening on the ground?
Yeah.
So that's my position. Well, and I am certain because the UNC has a plan for economic recovery. We have a plan that will become our manifesto when we come in government, but certainly our economic recovery plan also includes local government, region by region, utilizing what is organic to that area to contribute to the national economy. So areas where, for instance, agriculture, you have fisheries, you have manufacturing, like on the East-West corridor, you have manufacturing, and in each area there are certain things that could be developed through the regional corporations with the support of local government to contribute to the national economy. And you have to take that approach so that every citizen, small and micro enterprises, will grow.
So true. Thank you so much, Ms. Ameen. Again, outreach program tomorrow, May 16, 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., St. Augustine South Community Center, and the numbers to call 739-5287 or 329-2571. It's been a pleasure as always. Thank you so much, and best of luck to you and your team.